Well, good morning and happy Turkey Day. It is Thanksgiving. It is the morning. It is November 27th, 2025. This is the Blue Gamer Bluecast Morning Show. I'm going to try to keep it a little quiet. All the family is still asleep because that's what you typically do on a day off from school and work. I, on the other hand, am a crazy maniac and I love getting up super early. I think it was like 4:30 and I just kind of laid there for a long time, actually. I've gotten to the point where, like, yeah, when I'm laying down and I'm really awake, it's annoying. I just need to get up. But anyway, yeah, let's see what's going to be going on for today. Man, I was caught up. Actually, let me pull some back up. There was like, I would go to get news, and then so many things would come across the internet that it would distract me, and I really didn't do a good job setting up. But there's stuff to talk about for sure. Hold on. Excuse me. Got that morning sneeze out of the way. Okay. So yeah, hope everyone's doing good. Actually, it's a little warm. Let me take off my jacket. It was cold this morning. It is cold. Okay. Well, to start off, what was my day yesterday? We had the morning show and then work and then work out and then come back and sit around. What was I doing? I don't know. But let's talk about the games that I played, if I played any, which is probably what I was doing. All right, yeah, that was the music from today. Okay, so Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. I'd heard of this. Nothing about what I heard of it, what I saw, was interesting to me at all. So I didn't bother. But it's on Game Pass. And so I was like, okay, let me install it, check it out. It so far, almost everything about it seems really good. The graphics, the controls, the story, even though I don't care too much, I can kind of see what they're going. It's kind of like Ghostbusters, where these traveling supernatural banishers go around and fight ghosts pretty much. Sorry, allergies. The only thing was there's a lot of dialogue, and I know for me, for some reason, that's my kryptonite. It's like, and I don't know if it's because I have some ESP, but there'll be this dialogue, and it's like, I know what's going on. I mean, even in context of the video game, sometimes you have to know, like, the tone, the setting, what is going to be happening. So a lot of times when they're just talking in story, it's like, yeah, I'm sure that's what's happening. I'm sure that's going on. Sure. Okay. And it doesn't really, it's really hard for a story in a game to really affect me in any way. Rarely does that happen. I have to go back and think of some good games, some stories and games that are really good. I think a lot of times it doesn't make it compelling to me is if the mechanics that I am invested in match the emotional expression they're trying to get out of the story. It doesn't happen too much. It's like that with me in movies and TV shows too. It's like I'm just susceptible to not buying into things unless it's really thought about or thought through and not just surface level. That's why I have trouble sometimes with some Disney and Pixar movies, because they're doing surface level emotions and there's not really any deeper contextual meaning to it. But anyway, I'm really surprised by the combat and Banishers. I would recommend checking it out, especially if you have Game Pass and it's PC. It's Play Anywhere. It's PC and Xbox Game Pass. This is the thing we need, and they're doing it. So, okay. Next up, Where Winds Meet. Now, I know yesterday on chat, I think Zionic Shadow brought up he was playing this. This is a free to play. It's nowadays any game can be like Assassin's Creed, Breath of the Wild, and Genshin Impact combined. In fact, while playing Where Winds Meet, it just feels like I'm playing Assassin's Creed. I do like that there's a triple jump and a dash. That's kind of cool for traversal and movement. So I need to spend more time with it. In that 49 minutes it's showing here that I've played, I haven't really played a lot. I fought an opening boss and then maybe some enemies. The combat system's pretty cool. It has a beginner mode to it, which I actually like. It's to kind of help you with muscle memory of when to hit the parry, pretty much. I like this idea because what it does is it goes into slow motion real quick when an enemy's about to hit you, and then it has like a timer to hit the parry. You could turn that on and off. But I like that because it's like, okay, where's this game's timing window? Instead of me having to find it, it's like it's showing me, okay, that's where it is. Okay, now I'll play and I know the timing window, That way I can get really into the meat of the game because that's what happens a lot. I'll play a game and I'll find a little corner where I can just fight some enemies for a little bit just to figure out what the combat is. And where winds meet, the graphics are great. The controls are great. I was even playing it on Moonlight, so it was streaming my computer to my TV in my living room on the Apple 4K, and I was flawlessly playing and having fun. It's free to play. It's just the cosmetics you pay for, so I don't know. We'll see if I stick with it. It's really hard sometimes for me to really get into these free to play games, even if they have like a single player experience. Okay. Next up, Castlevania Anniversary Collection. I've been talking about that. I've been playing all week. I'm Super Castlevania 4. I'm on Death, the boss of Death. I don't think I beat him yet. He's very hard. I mean, I have it saved right before the room where I go in to fight him. And it's just no, I actually have it right before, not right before the room, but right before he becomes fightable because it takes a while. I have to wait for an animation. I know. I have no patience, but it's hard. Like I gotta say, I don't remember it being this hard. And so I wonder if it is possible because of how games change. Do we become worse at games? And is that due to expectation? Like for me, I'm tired of games that require you to memorize things. I can understand like the muscle memory aspect of it, like getting better at something, but knowing when to jump, when to duck. Like, oh, jump now, duck now, and then do it's like sometimes that's not as fun because that's just doing things on command. I like the free form. And so I think that's what it is. It's just games are less about the up down. There's just more things you can do in a game with gameplay mechanics that you don't need to like memorize something to make that the challenge. Okay, yeah, again, sorry with the allergies. It's probably gonna go away though. I think it's because I got up a little later than normal. Um I think that's all I played. For some reason, I'm picturing more games in my head, but I might have just been doing research or something else. Is there any other thing that wouldn't log it? No, I think that's all. I think that's all accurate. So, okay, let's jump into some news. I found something interesting. Nintendo Studios. There's a new Nintendo Studios Singapore, and this was Bandai Namco. They made Soul Calibur 6, Taiko no Tatsujin, Rhythm Festival, Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown, and Splatoon 3. So they're already doing stuff for Nintendo. It's just kind of interesting that, Bandai Namco, who even their gaming output is less about them and legacy, and it's more just like, here's some games. For them to sell off a studio, it's that sounds more like they are continuing to go down a path of like less games, less in-house. But let's read what ChatGPT put together because it did a good job. Let's see. I had some info in here that I guess is not too big of a deal for me. Like it's like I know it's like talking too much. Here's what's really interesting because it said Japanese publishers are quietly consolidating talent to avoid losing it to Tencent and NetEase. And I'm like, what? What does this mean? So here's something. Why Japanese publishers are quietly consolidating talent. Japan's game industry has been slowly pulling its people and studios closer to home because they're trying to protect talent from massive foreign acquisition pressure. Mostly from Tencent, NetEase, Sony, the international divisions, like where Bungie went, or Western mega studios like Embracer, Amazon Games, and Microsoft. Here's what's actually happening. Excuse me. Tencent and NetEase are aggressively hiring Japanese devs. Since around 2019 2020, both companies have opened major offices in Tokyo, offered 2 to 3 times salary to star developers, recruited entire teams from Japanese publishers, funded new studios led by ex Capcom, ex Kojima Productions, and ex Square devs. NetEase especially started poaching Capcom RE Engine engineers, Square Enix creative leads, Platinum Games talent, Resident Evil, Monster Hunter World combat designers. This caused panic inside Japanese publishers who operate with a much more conservative salary structure. Japanese publishers fear a brain drain. Japan's game industry is built on long careers, internal company loyalty, decades-long IP stewardship. Mario, Zelda, Tekken, Ace Combat. If a foreign giant scoops up 20 senior devs from a team, that can literally kill a franchise, a studio, a 10-year tech pipeline, which we've seen, actually. Just in the past 15, 20 years, things that have just not seen the light of day, sequels that haven't carried on, studios that have just fallen apart. So companies started quietly shifting strategy, buying their supporting studios, consolidating small internal teams, locking staff into long-term employment, using bonuses and better benefits to retain key engineers. And this reminds me of what happens in the West a lot, because a lot of times developers would be signed on as contractors and they'll do a lot of work. Especially the bigger ones, which this is in talks about, like the bigger companies scooping up the little ones. Other bigger companies will have these contractors, so then they will just go somewhere else. Another company will just grab them, and there's not this like family sort of vibe of this game, this ownership of this family. Like, we're all set to make this game and we're going to complete it, and then the publisher needs to like foster the next thing. But that's not what happens. We just see people flying around, new studios being made. Even like The Witcher. We used to love CD Projekt Red. That whole team now is in another company making something else. Although a lot of that has to do with what's been going on in the West, that I think has bled over into these larger Chinese companies that are now trying to use that tactic in Japan. Japan is hyper protective of its creative ecosystem. There are unwritten rules in the Japanese industry. Don't let foreign tech giants control your national IPs. Preserve internal development culture. Protect Japan's independent game identity. So this again goes to why I don't think Nintendo takes Metroid seriously. They usually have Western or third-party developers work on it. That's very interesting. That is just so in line with what's going on with Metroid, and this news almost flies in the face of how they've treated Metroid, because Nintendo would buy to have an internal development company. This is just more proof that they don't care about Metroid that much. Let's see. Nintendo needs more internal control for Switch 2. The next gen Switch means higher blah blah blah. Nintendo can't afford to lose devs who understand their hardware, understand their design philosophy, already built assets for Smash, Kart, Prime, etc. Yeah, that makes sense considering how specific Nintendo is with their stuff. But I think they've always been good to their employees, to the point to where Nintendo's been as successful as they have been. Bandai Namco also benefits from avoiding talent loss. Instead of risking Tencent or NetEase grabbing that team, Nintendo takes over payroll. Nintendo covers long-term projects. Bandai Namco reduces labor risk. They reinforce a long-standing partnership. They strengthen their reputation as a safe collaborator. It's interesting. This quietly follows other Japanese moves. Square Enix consolidated multiple business divisions, moved to long-term employment for senior devs, reclassified assets to prevent foreign investment. Capcom dramatically increased salary. Rebuilt Osaka HQ, and Sega Atlas bought Relics talent from Microsoft auctions, tightened Japanese studio hiring pipelines, and Koei Tecmo strengthened internal teams after losing staff to NetEase. This has been a nationwide talent defense trend. It's very interesting. I'm learning all of this right now. What this means in simple terms, here's the vibe. In Japan, we need to protect our developers or the big foreign sharks will eat them. Tencent and 80s, hey, you want triple your salary and global pipeline? Nintendo, Bandai Namco, okay, we're locking this team down before they get poached. Here's what I'm going to ask it. What does this mean for Metroid? I feel how do I want to word this? Nintendo cares little about that IP, so they use external Western devs. Uh, let's see what they have to say about that. You're absolutely reading the room right, and this acquisition quietly says a lot about Metroid's future and how Nintendo actually sees the IP. Let's break down this cleanly and without wishful PR filtered stuff. Metroid is important, but not core to Nintendo's Japanese identity. Inside Nintendo's internal hierarchy, the franchises are arranged something like this. Tier 1 fundamental identity is Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, and Animal Crossing. Tier 2 is strong and growing Splatoon, Fire Emblem, Xenoblade, and Kirby. Tier 3, the prestige IP with cult fan bases. That's Metroid, F-Zero, Star Fox. Metroid lives in Tier 3, respected, loved, but not consistent commercial priority in Japan. In Japan, Metroid games historically underperform, even when they crush in the West. So yes, Nintendo tends to outsource it, but that's not because they don't care. It's because the types of teams who understand Metroid's design DNA don't really exist inside Nintendo's main structure anymore. I'm gonna fight that back. Wait, where's the thing that pops up, and then I can say, "Hey, ask ChatGPT." Yeah, it went away. I'll get to that. The Absorb Bandai Namco team already worked on Metroid Prime Remastered. Oh, the Bandai Namco Studio Singapore was long rumored to be creating early prototypes, doing R&D for Prime 4, working on art for Prime Remastered, handling environmental engine support. When Nintendo bought that team, it outright implies Nintendo wants a permanent in-house team that deeply understands Metroid's tech stack. But up to now, every Metroid game has required a different external contractor. Prime was Retro, Other M was Team Ninja, Dread was Mercury Steam, Federation Force Next Level Games, Prime Remastered, Nintendo plus Namco, Bandai Namco support. That inconsistency has always slowed the series. Oh, wow, that is a good one. That is a good one. That's true. There's no consistency there. And I have to reply. Again, I shouldn't have to do this on Twitter, but someone was just saying something about Nintendo has been funding Metroid games for decades without worrying too much about the sales of it. If they were truly as concerned about the sales of Metroid as you think they are, they would have killed off the series a long time ago. Metroid gets more games because it adds variety to Nintendo's lineup. Yes, and I agree with that. But I feel like then we're resting on the laurels and not doing what Nintendo does with the rest of their IPs, right? It's like you could say this about, oh, don't worry about Metroid, it's going to sell. But they don't give the care to that IP that they do with others. So that's interesting. Nintendo is building a dedicated internal pipeline for Metroid style games. This is the biggest takeaway. Nintendo absorbing a team that already used the Prime engine, already built Nintendo style environments, already delivered a polished HD remaster, already has a Metroid skill set. This could mean two things for Prime 4. The Bandai Namco team becomes long-term support for Prime 4. They become the Metroid side team. Nintendo does care about Metroid, but mostly in the Western market. The meta reason, Switch 2 needs high-end prestige Western-friendly titles. The truth is you felt is correct, but there's more to it. Nintendo doesn't hate Metroid. They just lack the internal. And I don't even think it's about hating Metroid or lacking the internal team. I really do think they thought, it doesn't have that big of an impact, so we just won't put the right resources. That doesn't mean more resources. That just means the right resources that understands what the game is, but they're not doing that. And I find that very interesting. And I'm glad that I've had AI to validate my feelings. But no, it's true. Everything. So let me look up something. Bandai Namco Singapore Metroid Prime, because here Retro Studios, wow, so yeah, so someone's posting about this. Let's dive in a little more. I'm interested. Probably won't mean much since it was already a heavy Nintendo supporting studio, but it is interesting that Nintendo was willing to buy it, considering how conservative they are with buying companies, and that Bandai Namco is willing to sell it. Nintendo always purchase studios that thinks can help. Maybe since most of their projects are Nintendo-based ones, they probably thought. So a lot of man, yeah. When I read this, it's like people are kind of assuming a lot. That's the biggest thing about being on the internet and reading the replies to something. Someone will just say this thing as a fact, and it's not true. So far, the things that are said up here are not true. That Bandai Namco Studios in Singapore made tons of things for Bandai Namco. Not, I mean, a few things for Nintendo, but let's see. Oh, cool. They did Code Vein too. Yeah, that was. I mean, see, there's so many things they did that were not Nintendo. Yeah, it's very interesting. And so there's two things that could come out of this. Then it could be that they're wanting to strengthen the support for their Metroid series, but they only worked on Prime Remastered, so just remaking something a Western dev did back in 2003, 2002, whatever. And but by bringing them in-house, does that mean, okay, we're going to have you guys work on maintaining Metroid Prime 4 and not the original Retro Studio devs, which, again, they were brought in after it wasn't working. It was a back and forth for a while. It's inconsistent. Super, super, super inconsistent. And I guess what I'm trying to get on is I want Metroid Prime 4 to be great, but I have a feeling it's not going to be, but I'm going to buy it and play it anyway. So I just hope then in the future they take Metroid a little more seriously. I guess that's the main takeaway here. All right, one other thing we're going to do real quick, and maybe you guys don't care too much, but I went ahead and got that SpongeBob game. I had so much fun with it. And again, I'm not even a SpongeBob person. It's like I can detect good platforming. We'll get this loaded and get going. We'll probably see some of the stuff I did from before, but since I know what to do, I can get through it pretty quick. Yep, we get skip. Yay! Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Shader compilation. At least it's happening beforehand. But it is crazy to think that this is something that can't be done as you're installing a game. Like you install a game and it has a sequence that is a temporary launch of the application in order to do the shader compilation. And then when that's complete, it says that the install is complete. Hey, GMKLX. Nice to see you. Thanks for the little turkey. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you. Check out, if you get a chance, check out the stream later, because earlier I did an interesting discussion about Nintendo acquiring a Bandai Namco studio and what that means for Metroid Prime. Okay. Good, that was a little faster than I thought. Okay. So let's switch the main stuff, guys. We're going to do the vertical. Wait. Oh, it was already set? How is this possible? Is it looking at my, I wonder if it's looking at that I played before, but there's no load game. I can't explain that. Okay. Let's turn on everything possible. Although I don't think I need to. Because I don't really need this stuff. Okay. Later. I like that. So loading.
Another peaceful day.
Okay, so I've already seen all this, so let me just get through this real quick.
The tables are a right mess. The pickup clean enough to eat off.
That didn't sound like him. I've done his voice before, but it requires me to be louder, and everyone is sleeping, so.
I'll have these clean in no time.
I can see myself streaming this via Moonlight to my Apple TV 4K and playing this on the couch for Thanksgiving.
Great danger. Last night I had to hurry home.
Better
Hey!
hurry upstairs for fresh ingredients.
I like how collect ingredients is just smashing boxes.
Wait to become a Krabby Patty, you little
Oh,
ingredient
goody.
thief.
Maybe this will be the day I finally get caught in a
Double jump.
stampede. Your usual
This
negative
keeps
rate
reminding me of
is
that
day, Squidward.
Backaroo game, and I keep saying I'm gonna install it and play it, and I don't. It's a fun game.
Let's make those Krabby Patties and find them all good homes and happy stomachs.
Okay. Yay! We can also. I've done all this already. Okay. Oh, nuclear explosion. Oh, what happened?
Yozo, what was that?
I don't know, but it sure sent a shiver.
It feels really good walking around in this thing, just in this world. They did a good job. Like, what's over here? Anything? No? Nothing. Oh, I love that. Little coin up there. I think I tried to get that before and I didn't, right? Or not. Okay. See if there's anything else. Yeah, because there's areas to go. Oh, yeah, I remember doing that. Yeah, it makes me think there's a lot. Like, I want that aspect of where I'm exploring around and there's things. Places I don't expect.
Yellow.
At least there's people.
Now what? Looks like I'll need another map.
Huh. Is that anything? Nope. Or can I climb this? No.
Was the Krusty Krab always floating in midair like that?
Okay, I think. Is it this one? Wow. Okay, got that done. There's people hanging out here. I call them people, but they're fish. Alright, let's do some action.
Ghosts? Oh, they're not on their way to get Krabby Patties.
And then the underwear for health.
Here it is. Wow, Mr. Krab sure pulled out all the stops.
Is that some guy just like dancing by himself down there? Okay. Nice.
Great. Stuck in traffic. My favorite.
Really? I thought Krabby Patties were your favorite.
Oh. Well. Can he die that easily? Do I have to go back and get all the... No, I still have all the coins. So that did nothing. You just fall and then it brings you back up and adds the coins back, which is pretty cool. Okay. Oh, you can dodge in air. This is putting banisters to shame. No, I'm joking. What was it? Where winds meet? Like they both... Oh, I'm just hitting the dude. Oh, did I forget a treasure chest? I'll go back and look. Thank you. All right, let's go look for that treasure chest. Since there's a delay, then it has to be something that's a little more further back. Oh, I think I see it. Nice. Thanks for. Or where's that? Maybe not. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. It's the. Does it appear under here when I? Yeah, and I was so excited to go over there. Maybe. I wonder. Yeah, I already have 1,700 coins. I wonder. As I get through the game, is there like a currency for leveling up, or upgrades, or? All right, let's get some of these guys. Why run away? Okay, that you hit me into underwear.
I'm a star in the sky.
That's fine. I think the game's really trying to teach me to dodge a little better. Nice. Interesting. There is a cooldown for the dodge. I wonder if I can upgrade that later.
Found it.
Oh, okay. Oh, it doesn't work on there. Okay. Oh, I should have smashed. Yeah, this is just a fun, chill, collect things, smash things. I'm sure it's gonna get a little more challenging with some puzzles later. But so far, this is really well made. And it's funny, I felt like it took a long time for platformers other than Nintendo
Why did I trust
to
Sheldon
really
with the
get that
keys?
feeling.
I must have a short circuit. You haven't come across Sheldon.
Anything else over here before I go? Huh, little sea things on the side animating. A little cool touch to it.
A free Earth-based face mask treatment? I am one lucky fish.
Are there like multiple ways to get to the same area, perhaps?
Plankton, is that you?
Oh, okay, so since this comes over here, let me go that way.
Plankton, is that you?
Will no one save me? I can pay.
Excuse me. Are you Plankton?
Oh, okay, so that's probably... it's very open-ended in where you can go and what you can do. I like that.
Me, help me. Someone handsome, preferably, but help me.
I'd rescue you if you were stuck. I swear.
Oh,
Help me get to the Krusty Krab this instant. I have a formula to...
Oh,
There, you see? But I can see that you're...
ouch.
I can try using that barrel to clear up.
Cool. Some explosion stuff to do. Okay. Let's see. Is there a save? Yeah, there is. I'm gonna jump out. Oh, it does auto saves like every few minutes. Huh. That's nice. All right, this is fun. This is gonna be my Thanksgiving game, guys. But I'm gonna head out. Have a great Thanksgiving. Hopefully, you have a good time hanging out, doing whatever, whether that's eating food or just hanging out with family. I'm gonna be getting ready for a garage sale. That's gonna be tomorrow, but I'll still be streaming. So, yeah, have a good rest of the day, Thanksgiving. I'll see you all tomorrow.